I am Lerothodi Leeuw, and I work as a professor of physics and astronomy at the University of the Western Cape. The big connection I was trying to make, and the inspiration, is really humanity's interest in the moon, which I think is, as long as the first humans who could think. The moon is the second brightest object in the sky after the sun, and at night it can be the brightest. So it has been observed for many generations, both here in Africa and also in the whole world. I love this question about ancient African societies' use of the moon. One of the very big ones would have been about time, and the most impactful one. So the lunar cycle is just under a month, or 27 days. And the moon was used for timekeeping, in particular timekeeping for cycles of about a month. And that makes what's called a lunar calendar. And we know lunar calendars are used in religious observations these days. But previously they were used not just in religious, but in all aspects of life, essentially. Yes, so we know that Africans used it because there are words that relate to month and that have common meaning with the moon. So there's no doubt that there is that direct relationship. It's not a guess that they actually were doing this. Scientifically, there are many interesting questions in terms of advanced science at the very cutting edge. One of the big things these days is the moon as for exploration. So there are planned missions to actually go to the moon that are on the horizon. One famously by NASA called the Artemis program. So that will get humans back to the moon for the first time in the last 50 years. Apollo went there, and then there was a break. So there's now this next visit to actually get humans back there. The idea this time is that they would stay for a long term, so maybe make a base on the moon. And this base then means they require resources to be able to sustain long time on the moon. And so some of the research has to do with how they will use the moon for resources to stay long term. One of the big resources would be water. So there's a big effort to understand how much water is on the moon and possible ways of using that water. So exploration is definitely one big way. And then I also just like to emphasize that in outreach and teaching, the moon is really important, and we need to think about how to bring back the conversation in innovative ways to young people, to scholars. I've been observing the moon with my young daughter, who since she could open her eyes, essentially, and we talk about it, and she teaches me about it in her understanding. So I think that's one of the ways, both from the very young to the adults, getting them excited about science. So yes, I would say young people can get involved by just taking interest and observing the moon themselves in terms of those phases, and trying to relate the phases to what the moon physically is doing as an object in the universe. So that's certainly the way. In terms of opportunities to study astronomy, so there are quite a few organizations that practice astronomy in South Africa. Sarau, that does radio, optical, SAO. Those organizations have, some of them have funding, and so it would be a way to get involved is also just to find out possible, the funding opportunities for studying, related to astronomy in general. That's definitely a way. I'm currently acting as a Rhodes Scholarship Ambassador for the University of the Western Cape, and that's actually a very important opportunity for which we like to encourage people who would qualify to really follow up on. So I'm certainly available to help promote that. We would like as many applications as possible, particularly for people interested in science. So yes, that is one solid one available as well. So my big message is that science is really all around us, and science governs how we interact and look for opportunities to enjoy science at every moment, and definitely appreciate that science is not for the rich, science is not for the privileged. Everybody can enjoy the moon just with their own eyes. So use that availability to start to think, how does it actually work? How do all those different phases of it, come into being? And all of science really is in this way accessible. And I guess to make that more dramatic, I will drop the mic and have gravity help me do that.